and welcome to this episode of Let's Talk, Let's Think. I am your host, Carrie Braggs, and I'm truly glad to be in the house. It's been a while since I've made a video, so I apologize for my absence. You know how life gets busy sometimes, but that is not a good excuse to fall by the wayside. And so I'm back, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to have you all tuning in. So, for those of you who aren't familiar with Let's Talk, Let's Think, here we discuss different hot button topics in the culture, and we usually look at how it deals with the Christian perspective versus the world's perspective. And so here we actually have a conversation about both sides, so we know what both sides are thinking. And at the end of the video, you decide, whether or not you didn't have enough information and you were misinformed and believing a certain thing, or whether or not there were certain things you didn't know and it may have changed your view. It may have allowed you to see the other side in a new light to where you still may not agree, but you can understand things better and you can respectfully agree to disagree. Because that's the problem right there. We don't have conversations anymore. People just go back and forth demonizing each other, and no one is paying attention to that, where you ask a question and say, do you know what the other side truly thinks? Or do you know if they really said that? No one checks the facts or anything like that. So here on Let's Talk, Let's Think, that's exactly what we do. We have a conversation, we talk about it, and we think about it, and then we come to a conclusion based off the information that was presented before us and us having a healthy conversation. And so with that being said, I'm glad to have you all here. And so today, I just wanted to discuss something. I'm getting ready to go into a series of videos where I'm going to be just breaking down a lot of things on hot button topics. And as I said, people aren't thinking and having conversations like they used to. And so I felt it important to talk about these things. And you know how sometimes you want to say something about a certain thing, but you don't quite know how to form the words and put it together. And so I saw a video online, and it helped me come up with the perfect mindset to be in when dealing with these situations. And so I wanted to make this video first to let people know where my heart and my mind is when I start making other videos, so they don't just once again, oh, he's this and he's saying that. No, you listen to what I'm saying, and based off of that, go for it. So I saw this video online with it's an actor called Christian Keys. You may know him from the series Saints and Sinners. And so this is a show showing how the people of the church, how they're working with underhanded people and how they're doing underhanded things and all of these different things. And so, that's what the show is about. And so he's an actor on the show, and so he was doing an interview, and she was asking him about people sending things to his DM, and what they're saying or what's going on. And so they got into talking about pictures and different things that people send him, and he was like, I don't truly, I really don't get offended or anything by him. I just think it's interesting or whatever. But then he talked about how one person sent a message to him in his DM talking about having a threesome with him and his son. And he was saying, that upset him because, this was a man, and he was talking about doing a threesome with him and his son, and he, talked about how that made him upset with someone, saying something like that about bringing his child into it, and he was like, I didn't appreciate that, and he said he respectfully let the guy know what's what, and don't come at him that way. And so then he was talking about the backlash from the gay community and different things like that. And he said, he said he was upset with the backlash because he was saying it doesn't matter who that was, man or woman, don't bring his child into it and all these other things. And he was saying how he's always been supportive of the gay community and all these different things. And he's like, hey, I've always looked at it like you live your truth and I'll live my truth. And, let's respect one another. And so when he said that gave me that mindset. Exactly. Everybody needs to be able to live out their truth. And so that's what these different videos are going to be about. It's about everybody living out their truth, being able to discuss what's true and whether or not you have to accept someone else's view of what's true. But at the same time, them telling you yours is not true and you can't live it out. I have a problem with that. And I feel these videos are necessary because there are a lot of lies that are being spread about Christians and what we believe, and when we stand against certain things, that because we stand against it, we hate people, or we're bigots and all of these other things. And so I couldn't just sit by and be silent anymore, nor should you. And so these videos are going to be put together to help people to be able to say what it is they need to say in the right manner and be able to live their truth. I don't think it's fair that one group says they get to live their truth, but then tell the other group that, hey, no, you can't be who you are and live your thing. People are going to do what they want to do. Now, there are fine lines where once they cross, there are certain things based off of laws. There are certain things based off of preference. There are certain things based off of the rules and all these things that say, okay, hey, the buck stops here. Meaning you can live that way and act this way and dress that way in these certain areas. But when you come in here, you have to change it. Or when you're a part of this, you can't say that, because that's not what we promote here. And so everybody has those rights when it comes to their businesses and things like that. And so everybody should be able to live out their truth. And so I think it's very important, because freedoms are being taken away, people being ostracized, people being lied on, and it's created fear of being able to stand for what you believe, and just be able to say, hey, if a person wants to do a certain thing, that's fine, but I don't agree with it. There shouldn't be a problem with it. You shouldn't have to co-sign on what somebody else is doing. And so it's just a lot of things going on out here. And so I feel these videos need to go forth. And so these videos need to go forth, and these conversations need to be had. And so I just wanted to prepare the way for this. I want to let everybody know my heart and my mind is to educate people, to get people to understand what both sides are really thinking, not lying on one side over the other, because there are truly some horrific things being put out there about certain people in certain situations. And it's like, you should never want to push your agenda that bad that you are willing to lie. I mean, lie and demonize somebody. So that's serious. To demonize some person, I mean, to make them seem like they are just no earthly good, and that they are just a danger and a menace to society. And then when you sit down and say, hey, why are you saying that this person is no earthly good, a menace to society, they need to be thrown in jail, and you throw away the key and all of this. But then when you actually sit down and find out what they're upset with this person about, you're like, okay, no, you're lying. You're just twisting things to promote your agenda. You're just twisting things to get people to say, oh, well, if they're doing that, then yes, they do need to be put in jail and all of these other things. And it's just getting very terrible out here. And once again, as a Christian, I want to be able to live my life out loud. That's what I say. Live my life out loud. Everybody else is living their lives out loud, and I'm not going to be, let me be quiet. Let me be quiet with what I'm doing and live my life over here. No, that's not going to happen. I want to be able to live my life and be free to express myself just like everyone else. And so I hope that this kind of laid the way to soften your heart, to open your mind, so that you can go on this journey with me, and that you can come in with a perspective where we are both on the same page to say, hey, here's what's going on. What say you? What do you think? What do you feel? But at the end of the day, to be able to be honest about it and say, well, I can see your side, but I still don't agree with it. I can see your side, and I didn't know that at first. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to demonize anyone, and I'm not going to spread lies to further my agenda. We're going to deal with these issues face to face, heads up, and just let the chips fall where they may. But we're not going to create more hate. We're not going to create more division based off lies. So as I go forth with these videos, I hope that you would tune in, pencil and paper in hand, and just sit down and join the group discussion. And so I always say that it is better to speak up now than to have your voice silenced and not be able to speak up later. So I know it's uncomfortable, but I would rather be a little uncomfortable now than really be uncomfortable later when it's against the law for me to stand for my beliefs, and it's against the law for me to tell my kids the truth about sexuality and genders and all these other things. So you might want to rethink some of those things and not be so fearful now, but look at it in reverse and say, hey, we have to stand right now. So that's all I have for you today on Let's Talk, Let's Think. I hope you will continue to join me as these new videos come out, because I feel they will be very helpful and educational and help get us to the promised land together. Amen. Amen. So that's all I have. I'm out today for Let's Talk, Let's Think. I'm your host, Carrie Braggs, and I will see you later.